The importance of a localized product. Moderated by Milica Jovanovic, BtoBet.
Hi everyone. I'm so honored that I can greet you from this main stage in Bell Expo Center. My name is Milica Jovanovic. I'm Partner Relationship Manager in BtoBet. We are a sportsbook B2B sportsbook provider with Tier 1 clients worldwide. And I'm honored that I'm sharing this stage together with great panelists. So let's start. Yes, tell us please a little bit about your backgrounds and roles. Please introduce to our public.
Okay, my name is Nikola Bošnjak and I'm from Maxbet. I've been there for 7 years now. And I'm hoping I'm going to give you some technical side and technical perspective on the challenges on the topic what we have at that localization of product, and also from some business side which we prepared to show.
Hello, my name is Mirza Capra. I'm the head of Sportsbook for Balkan Bet. I've been in the industry for 15 years. I was a live trader. And for the past 5 years, I've been running the sportsbook for our company. I'll be speaking mostly about the betting part of the localization and the challenges.
Hello, my name is Alexander Chernaven. I'm a Senior Business Development Manager at Todin.gg. I've been in the industry for 8 years now, and most of my experience comes from B2B providers, different one including global sports and esports. But I also spent 1 year managing the sportsbook for one local operator. So, yeah. I think I can comment on the topic as well.
Okay, thank you guys. Our topic is the importance of a localized product. So, as we have here two operators, great operators in Serbia, Maxbet and Balkan Bet. Let's start with them. How your sportsbook has developed through years and how you approach localization.
Okay, since we are present in Balkans mostly, Serbia, Montenegro, Macedonia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, I'm gonna give you some insight in competition in these countries, especially in Serbia. When you draw back and see how many betting types you have on a single match in Balkans compared to Europe, here you have at least 600. And in Europe there's around 45, so you can see how strong competition is. So everybody who needs to innovate, who needs to put something new ahead, everybody catches so quickly. So I can think localization is now became a standard. There's nothing new to offer anymore.
Yes, absolutely. What about you? How you approach localization in Balkan Bet?
So localization, we can look at both ways. Either are we looking at regarding conquering new regions or just going to a completely new market. So when you look at the Serbian market and trying to win it, it's, as Nikola said, it is very, very hard because Serbia is maybe not among the richest countries in the world, but it's, I can say with high certainty that when it comes to betting and casinos, it is of very high competence and high quality level, because either are we talking about liability limits, are we talking about what Nikola said, the amount of bet types or whatever, user experience. It's really hard when you compare Balkan Bet or 3 or other 4 top bookmakers in Serbia to say one of them is far better than another. Mm-hmm. We are so close, but it is a highly competitive market, and it's very hard if anyone from outside tries to approach to fulfill those standards very easy.
Yes, that's clear. And from perspective of esports?
Well, for us, localization is very important as well, because basically we have the clients on all continents, all populated continents at least. Yeah, even in esports, this is critical. For example, in some regions, and this is actually relevant for all regions, there could be some game which is super popular, and other games could be not popular at all. For example, here, obviously, Counter-Strike is the most popular. In CIS region, Dota 2 is very popular, but League of Legends is not relevant there at all. So you really need to customize your product and to put focus on those games which are popular. Then, of course, you have some local tournaments, local teams, and similar to what you mentioned regarding markets, for example, that for this region you need more markets. With the esports, it's the same. So for some regions, you don't need a lot of events. You just focus on the biggest events, and you get like 90% of the bets coming for those events. But in some countries, they want like to bet 24/7, and they don't care about the level of the tournament. They don't care if they know the teams or not. You need to provide those niche matches. But it's also relevant for traditional sports as well.
Yes, you're right. From PRM perspective, as I'm leading clients in Latin America, Africa, and also Europe, it's very important, to know your target groups and to adjust your product. For example, in Latin America, you have to use different terminology compared to European one. Then also bet slips are different. You have to think about features which works on certain markets, and according to that to offer, to your players. When it comes to features, what features you use in your sportsbook platforms?
Well, when it comes to features, the most important part is to innovate. History has shown us it's most important to be first, and that all depends. When you have an idea, when you put it into action, it's mostly whose IT crew will do it first. So if you have a good IT crew and you create the feature fast, then the marketing just strikes out and does all that work. So, not when it comes to features, we are always competing. Who will have cash out? Who will have cash back? Who will have bet builder? But none of that features really per se has brought a highly increased turnover. But all of them together very, very much did. So if I would have to point out my favorite and what I think is the most important, it is the cashback feature that we are soon planning on releasing finally.
Okay, great. What about you in Maxbet?
Like Mirza said, basically everybody has the same features now. We all try to push our own ideas ahead. So what I believe the biggest challenge is, if you had an idea, if you innovate, and you must innovate or you're going to be left behind, all the new ideas must be placed before your competition and try to be ahead a little bit longer if it's possible, at least for a couple of months, because it's really catch and go games. It's impossible to be ahead for a long time now.
Yes. Well, we in BtoBet, we have some, internal features which we all developed, such as a recommendation engine, which is a great data-driven tool which monitors players' behavior, and according to their behavior, they are offering bets. So one really great feature, also bet builder, which you already mentioned, cash out, cash back. So I agree with you, but also you have to make compilations and to know exactly on which market, which feature works the best. And Alex, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I actually think that in terms of features, when we're talking about developing features, like localization doesn't even apply. This is like a global language, because most of the features, they apply to all regions, and this is like a big advantage. You develop something like a custom bet builder, whatever, it is relevant. It will be relevant for all regions. So you don't need this issue of customizing it for some regions. Sometimes you have to, but this is a big advantage. And like personally, I'm a big believer in product, so I think that the product is like the most important, maybe even more important than marketing. Of course, you need to do everything, but with the product, you can keep the players, and if you develop some cool features, again, they can be used everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Also localization can pose different challenges. And when we talk about the challenges, I would like to know how you overcome them.
Okay, when it comes to challenge, when you have different markets, if you localize too much, it becomes a different product at some point. The roots are the same, but still, it's unsustainable at some point. You need to have different teams behind all these changes for them to understand what's happening around them and to understand the market and to respect the players as well. So the biggest challenge is how to overcome all these changes at once is to own a platform. Basically, this was the biggest decision of Maxbet, given that we are entered and with our partners, and we are creating our own iGaming platform, which is using the latest technology. From tech perspective, it's microserviced, it's cloud-based, it's scalable, it's easy to integrate. So the changes from technical point of view is always complex, especially in betting, because there's so many moving parts around this iGaming platforms today and so many users on it constantly. You can't stop change and continue. You need to continue while you're working. So it's posing a great threat. So the best and the biggest challenge of them all is to own your intellectual property, own your ideas. And like, as I said, everybody has like a minimal variations in offers, like minimal differences. But the presence, the sheer presence, what people are used to, what they react to is what they keeps you on your side. But, and sales and marketing, which are also a key value, adding value sales as well. So basically, this is a machine that has too many moving parts. And so once you relate to a product, if you see a product as a core business tool on which everybody works on, that needs to adapt to an agile form. It needs to be easy to change, easy to adapt, easy to set up. So as close as to generic as possible. Generic meaning configurable in all variations and all ways. So that's the biggest challenge, and we accepted it in some way. It's still ongoing, but it's working in one market now. It's in Montenegro, which we're proud, and it's becoming more and more sufficient and more stable. So this is the biggest challenge, and I believe the only solution to it.
Okay, thank you for sharing your challenges and the way how you overcome them. And Mirza, what happened with the challenges? What challenges you faced?
Yeah, well, since we're operating only in Serbia, we're still not going into international markets. The challenges that we have are many. You could only imagine. First of all, we have to find a shop. We have to find an appropriate space. We have to invest a lot of time and energy and money, after all, to rebuild it and to arrange it by our high standards. After we do all that, we have to find people to work there. You know, it's not easy as well. You wouldn't imagine also.
Yeah.
And after all that, when the HR part is done, when the construction part is done, then finally we can start and use the sportsbook ideas and through marketing put them into action. And only then is when the real stuff starts, and that is building the trust between us and our customers. And them knowing about our standards, them knowing about our rules, them knowing about our commitment to give them as much fun as we can. The only thing that we're not responsible for is if a goal will be scored or not, you know, if the ticket will be won, but everything else is up to us.
Yes, agreed, I know. And Alex, you as a sport provider?
Well, the challenges I think are the same either for the operator or for B2B like BtoBet, for example, or for us. It's just the resources basically. You need resources to research the market, to understand what are the needs, what should be done, and then you need resources to implement this. So I mean mainly like developer resources and so on. And of course the main question, the main decision is if it's really needed, if it is required. So for example with esports we have some niche countries which in those regions esports might be not that big, but they have some very specific requests regarding the popular games and so on. And we need to make this decision to invest. So for example recently we launched live betting for several mobile games because mobile games they're very popular, especially in the Asia. Yeah. So yeah, this is it basically.
Yes, yes. Well, what I faced, it's infrastructure, issues in Africa, for example. They mostly use phones and they don't have internet, and we have to integrate some feature which can allow them, to use platform and to check their bet slips without internet, for example. Also, what it's interesting to share with you, you have to take care about user experience, on different markets and to adjust your sportsbook to different markets in terms of UI. Always put bright colors in Africa will work for sure. Okay, guys. At the end, do you have some plans how you will, develop, adjust your sports book? We already heard your challenges, your features. Do you have some plans for improvement abroad?
Well, we are present in Africa in some way. So I believe Zambia, Kenya, which is already up and running. So I believe it's going to be spread through Africa. It's a completely new continent, completely new opportunities. And I believe there was Spain at some moment.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to attack it again. So this is some strategic plans which will be discussed in future.
Yes. And in Balkan Bet, you plan to go abroad and to operate abroad?
Well, for now, as I've said, the main goal is to cover the complete Serbian market with our shops and to round up, as far as I'm concerned, the sportsbook product with some few features that are left behind that they're waited from IT guys to end it. And after that, we'll see. No clear decision about going abroad still.
Okay. And Alex, with Odin, you're expanding, I know, a lot in different markets.
Yeah, but I already mentioned that basically we have clients on all continents already. So we have a lot of pressure. We already adjusted our product for those regions, but again, we are focused on esports. Esports are constantly developed and there are new games. Some games get more popular, new tournaments and so on. So this is a constant challenge, but we have a big team, a great team for this.
Okay, guys, thank you for coming. Also, thanks to all of you for coming here and, hearing our discussion. Hope we were funny and enough, and also this topic I'm sure that will be useful for all of you. Thank you once again, and see you soon.